Okay, I am now live. I'm currently waiting for people to join. Let's see who joins first. All right. Hello everyone. I'm seeing my first viewers joining. Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to my 4th live stream on Instagram. I did 3 live streams last year and this is my 4th, and I am very excited to be here and to connect with you guys. Hi everyone. I see your comments. So for all those who are joining, please tell me 2 things as you guys are joining this live stream. Tell me where you guys are watching from and tell me what time it is where you are. I'm super curious to know, just because I know that a lot of people, that follow me come from so many different parts of the world. So I'd love to know where you guys are and what time it is. Let's see here. From Colombia, very cool. Iraq, awesome. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I am in Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania, in southeast Pennsylvania, and it is currently 9 a.m. in Pennsylvania, so it's still pretty early. I did wake up not too long ago, so, I could be more awake right now, but I think I'll be good. All right, let's see. Central Asia. It's 18 o'clock, so that's 6 p.m. Wow. Okay. I think 6 p.m. Iran, let's see. India, Turkey. Gosh, I love the fact that just people from all over the world are watching me right now. Thank you guys so much for joining and for giving me some of your time today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's amazing to see you guys live and, not face to face, but, for me, it's, my face to you guys. Indonesia, Argentina, let's see, Azerbaijan. Wow, that is so cool. Oh my gosh. Armenia, Japan, yes, okay, perfect. I'm so happy to see that people from Japan are here because I wanted to do this live stream at 9 a.m. EST because when I did live streams last year, I could not, I guess Japanese people could not join my live because it was too late for them. It was around 3 a.m. when I was doing the live, so they could not join, but I'm very happy to see that some Japanese people are joining because I changed the time for you guys. So that's awesome that you guys are here. All right, let's see who else. Iran, very cool. Well, so this is my 4th live stream on Instagram, and I just have a couple of things to say before we get started with the official, before we get into the main topic of this live stream. But first, I guess I'll tell you what we're doing. Today, we are looking at 10 intermediate to advanced collocations in English. Okay, we'll be looking at collocations that you can use to make your language sound more natural. All right, I'm seeing another person from Japan. Hello, welcome. All right, Brazil. Ooh, I'm seeing some familiar faces. I'm seeing Almir. I know Almir. Hello, Almir. I'm seeing Bruno. Hi, Bruno. I love that I am recognizing a bunch of you. That's so cool. So, like I said before, we'll be looking at collocations in this live, and then I will be inviting 1 or 2 of you onto the live stream, and we'll be having a quick conversation, okay? So that's the plan, but before we get started, there are just some things that I have here that I did not want to forget to say, and that is, this past Sunday, I posted a couple of stories to my account because I wanted to tell you guys about how I was feeling and about some insecurities I have. Because as a content creator, I want to be very transparent with you guys. I want to be honest with you guys and tell you how I'm truly feeling. So I just posted those 3 stories, and then I was not expecting what would come next because I got over 300 messages from you guys. 300 messages. I could not believe it. I was going on Instagram every 5 minutes and seeing 5 new messages from people. So that was just a huge shock for me. I could not believe that I was getting that many messages, and all of you guys were writing me just such incredibly kind, encouraging things. So it was truly amazing to get all that support from you guys. So if you wrote me a message this past Sunday or Monday, I can assure you that I have seen it, okay? But it's not every day that you get, 300 to 350 messages in one day, So it's going to take quite a while for me to respond to all of them. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I have seen all of the messages. So if you sent one, I've seen it. And thank you all so much for just your support and your encouragement. I really, really appreciate it. It made my day to read all those messages. So thank you guys so much. And unfortunately, I have to tell you guys, I do have seasonal allergies. So I have some tissues here. I might be blowing my nose once or twice during this live because my nose has been stuffy and runny these past couple of days. It's been so annoying. But the show must go on, so we'll be all right. All right, I'm seeing people from Libya. Wow, from Libya. Where else? Some Tajik. Oh my gosh, that might be hard to say. Tajikistan. Oh my gosh, that is so far away from the US. That's crazy. Yeah, so do any of you guys have seasonal allergies? I'm seeing that one of you does. Ugh, they're so annoying. But I get them every year, so I'm used to them. So we're just going to deal with that. Now, also, I wanted to let you guys know that I will be posting this live stream to my account after it's over. So if you guys can't stay for the whole thing, which I assume that most of you can't stay for the whole thing, that's okay. You'll be able to watch it in its entirety after it's over, okay? Ooh, I'm seeing 2 people from Spain. That's awesome. Hola. All right. I'm seeing someone from India. So yes, if you guys have to leave, feel free to. I mean, of course, I want you guys to stay for as long as possible, but I understand that most of you will not stay for the whole stream. All right, someone from Azerbaijan. Wow, that's so cool. Brazil, Malaysia. Wow. Oh my gosh. I keep saying, wow, oh my gosh, but it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that, just my stream can reach so many people around the world. Ukraine, Colombia, Venezuela, Uzbekistan. Wow. Very interesting. Very cool. These are countries that I will probably never go to. I don't ever see myself going to Uzbekistan just because, I don't know. It's just very far away from the US. But it's so cool to meet people from there. Now, also, I wanted to say that during this live stream, I will be speaking 100% at my normal speed. I will not be speaking slower than I usually do. I will be speaking normally, and I'll be using the language that I would if I were talking to my family members on this live stream. So this live stream will be a great way for you guys to practice your listening skills, okay? Because I'm just going to be speaking normally. All right, I'm not going to slow down. I am going to try to articulate as well as I can and pronounce every syllable so it's easy to understand what I'm saying, but I'm not going to slow down my speech because I want you guys to get used to hearing natural speech from a native speaker, all right? Hello from Kazakhstan. All right, very cool. Thank you. Thank you for your well wishes. I think I will get well soon. It's just a matter of time. These allergies usually just last for like a couple of days or maybe like 1 to 2 weeks max. All right. Hello everyone. Welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining. Okay, so that was all I wanted to say before we get into the main topic of today's live lesson. And like I said before, the topic is collocations in this lesson. Now, I want to ask you guys, what is a collocation? Do you guys know what this word means? I'm gonna put it in the chat just in case you don't know what this word looks like. Collocation is the topic. What is a collocation? Tell me in the chat. I wanna see at least one definition because this is a very fancy word, so it might be kind of difficult to know what it means. No idea? Okay, good. Well, I'm happy that you're here so you can learn what it means then. All right, any ideas? What is a collocation? What does that word mean? Correct usage of words? Almost. Perfect. It's a set of words that tend to appear together. Good job. Exactly. A collocation is just a combination of words that are typically used together and sound very natural when used together. Okay? That's it. They're just groups of words that we typically use together. All right? So an example of a collocation is take a shower. When we're talking about showers and going into the shower and cleaning ourselves, the verb that we use with shower is usually take. All right? I took a shower. Now, when we are eating breakfast in the morning, the verb that we typically use with breakfast is have. Right? I had breakfast this morning. I actually have not had breakfast this morning, by the way. So I hope my stomach does not grumble, but I think I'll be okay. If my stomach does rumble, then you guys will know why. So yes, a collocation is just a combination of words that are typically used together and sound natural together, right? And that's it. It's a super simple idea, but collocations is a pretty fancy word. So yeah, take a shower, have breakfast, a rough day. I had a rough day. Rough day is a collocation. Can you guys give me more examples of collocations in the chat? I want to see your own examples of collocations. Let's see. Make a decision. Yes, make a decision is a perfect example of a collocation. We have fast food. Yeah, fast food. To make your bed. That's exactly right. Perfect. All right. Yes, we do use shopping with the verb go, to go shopping. Those two words sound natural when used together. Any other examples? Ooh, meet a deadline. That is very good. That's a great example. Yes, we say to meet a deadline when we have a project at work and we have to get it done by a certain date. Yes, we have to meet that deadline. Good. All right. Yep, to make a meal, right? You can make yourself a meal like breakfast, lunch, dinner, all right? To catch a cold, perfect. Yep, exactly. Another great example. To do someone a favor is another great example. Make friends, run errands. Good one, good one. Yes, to run an errand. Kick the bucket. So kick the bucket is kind of like it's like a set phrase. It's not necessarily a collocation, just if we're looking at the definition of collocation. To kick the bucket means to die, and it's like a set phrase. So it's a little different from a collocation. Let's see, booking an appointment. Yeah, booking an appointment is a collocation. Take a seat. Yes, you could tell someone to take a seat. Good, thank you guys for these examples. So we all know what a collocation is. And in English, there are so many different types of collocations. There are verb-noun collocations. There are adverb and adjective collocations. Like an example being happily married. Two people are happily married. That's an adverb-adjective collocation. And like I said before, rough day, that is an adjective-noun collocation. So there are so many different types of collocations in English. This is such a broad topic, so it was kind of hard to choose just 10 collocations to share with you guys today. But I really tried to choose ones that I thought you could use in an everyday conversation, and that sounded pretty natural to me as a native speaker. And I tried to choose collocations that were between the B2 and C1 levels, okay? So I really wanted to choose ones that you guys would would think were useful. And so I hope that you guys will find them useful. Hello everyone. I still see people joining. Thank you so much for joining. All right. Highly recommended. That's a good one. Yep, that's a adverb and adjective collocation. Good. So you guys perfectly understand what a collocation is. And now we're going to look at 10 of them. Well, it's actually a little more than 10. You'll see. So what's going to happen is I am going to show you a collocation, but one of the words, or two, depending on the collocation, one of them is not fully shown, okay? There is a blank in one of the words. And I want you guys to guess what the collocation is in the chat, okay? I want you to write your guess as to what you think the collocation is, okay? Now, I'm going to share an image. I hope this works out. It didn't work out the last time, so I hope it works out now. Okay, so here is the first image and the first collocation. Okay, yes, it's working. Perfect. I was so scared it wouldn't work. Okay, good. So here is the first collocation, guys. We have obvious. Obvious. So the first word starts with a B, and I want you guys to tell me what you think this collocation is in the chat. What do you think? This is an adverb and adjective collocation. Okay, so the first word here is an adverb. All right, the word that starts with B is an adverb. So that should give you a hint as to what this first word is. Not brutally, not bloody. Someone has it almost exactly. I'm not going to say it yet. Barely. Not quite. So it's an adverb. So it's, in most cases, adverbs end in ly. So this word ends in ly. Yep, someone got it. Very good. Dandelion ESS 8. Perfect, you got it. So this first collocation is blatantly obvious, okay? We can say that something is blatantly obvious. Not just obvious, blatantly obvious, okay? So if something is blatantly obvious, that just means that it's really obvious. It's really obvious, okay? And we use this word blatantly to emphasize that something is done in a very obvious or intentional way, okay? So you could say, for example, it's blatantly obvious that he's trying to hide something, okay? It's blatantly obvious. It's totally obvious, all right? This person, he's trying to hide something, but he's not trying to, I guess, hide that he's hiding something. He's making it so obvious that he's hiding something, okay? So blatantly is a word that we often use with obvious, all right? Blatantly obvious. And we typically use blatantly when someone is doing something bad, right? This word does not have a good connotation, a good feeling. We feel like someone's doing something bad when we use it, okay? Now, blatantly, the adverb blatantly comes from the adjective blatant, right? If something is blatant, that means that it's done openly and intentionally, okay? And it's often with the goal of trying to offend someone, okay? So we can talk about a blatant lie, all right? I couldn't believe he was telling such a blatant lie, all right? So blatant is a great word to know, all right? So blatant is the adjective and blatantly is the adverb, all right? Now, you guys might not be able to see it down here, but I wrote the word duh down here, D-U-H, all right? Do any of you know what this word means? Duh. Is this word familiar to you guys? Have you guys ever seen or heard it before? DUH. What does it mean? Does anyone know? Tell me in the chat. I'd love to know if you guys have heard of this word, because every native English speaker obviously knows this word. Yep, some of you know it. Good, good. Do any of you know what it means? Oh, it's common in Spanish. Is that true? Really? Okay. Yes, exactly. So, duh means, it's kind of, it doesn't necessarily have like a direct translation, but we use duh to say that something is extremely obvious, right? When someone says something that's so obvious that we don't even need to say it, we would respond by saying, duh, duh. For example, the sky is blue. Duh, you know? So this word is commonly used in spoken English when we're, talking to friends or family. When someone says something that's kind of stupid because it's so obvious, right? As another example, like, Tim is the best teacher in the world. Duh. That's obvious. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's used when something is so obvious, and it's used in spoken English. Now, also, you might not be able to see it right here, but I have this picture that says Captain Obvious in the top left right here. Now, I wanted to put this picture in this image because when someone says something that's so obvious, we sometimes call them Captain Obvious, all right? So if someone says, the sky is blue, you could say, thanks for the information, Captain Obvious. So sometimes we call someone who has said something very obvious, Captain Obvious, okay? And yes, you're exactly right. So duh is used for informal, casual speech, but we can also use blatantly in everyday conversation. We can also use it in, everyday, conversations with friends, family, casual speech. Yes, absolutely. All right, so that's our first collocation, blatantly obvious. It's blatantly obvious that he's in love with her. It's blatantly obvious that he's trying to hide something. All right, that's the first one. Now, we're going to move on to collocation number 2. Let me find it for you guys. These images are in my image, camera roll, so I have to find them. Okay, here we go. Collocation number 2. This is another adverb and adjective collocation, but this time I have not given you the adjective. I've given you the adverb, but not the adjective. All right? So, can you guys guess what this collocation is? Absolutely? Let's see. Okay, good. The guesses are starting to come in. What do you think it is? It might be obvious. Let's see. 4 guesses so far. I'm just going to wait for a little more. Yep, you guys got it. This one was pretty easy. I don't know if the picture is what gave it away or made it obvious, but yes, the collocation is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Now, you guys might be familiar with the word insane. I'm sure you are if you watch a lot of TV shows and movies in English. So if something is insane, that means that it's very crazy. Very crazy, all right? And this word is very commonly used in spoken English, okay? At least I use it a lot if I want to say that something is so crazy, okay? So we could say, for example, the plot twist at the end of the movie was absolutely insane, okay? It wasn't just crazy, it was insane. I could not believe it. So we can use this word to say that something is very crazy. We can also use it to say a couple of other things, like stupid, for example. Like you could say, he was insane for doing that. He's insane for spending all of that money on, I don't know, a baseball card. You know, who knows? Some people collect things like baseball cards, and sometimes they're very, very expensive. So we could say he's insane for spending all of that money on a baseball card, right? So insane can mean stupid. It can mean very crazy. It can also mean high, like a very high amount of something. So you could say, he's making an absolutely insane amount of money, right? That means that he's making a very, very high amount of money, and it's crazy, okay? So insane has a couple of meanings in everyday conversation and in spoken English, and I wanted you to be familiar with them, all right? And of course, the other half of this collocation is absolutely. It's common to see the word absolutely used with insane, right? He's absolutely insane. That plot twist was absolutely insane. He's making it an absolutely insane amount of money. And absolutely in general is used with a lot of adjectives, yes, adjectives, that express a high degree of something, okay? So, for example, you could say that something is absolutely amazing, absolutely delicious, right? Absolutely stunning. Oh my gosh, she looks absolutely stunning in that dress, okay? So we often use absolutely with adjectives that express a high degree of something, right? We also say that you are absolutely right, for example. If someone is right, we can say that they're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. All right. So those are just a couple of common adjectives that are commonly used with absolutely. Okay. That was the second collocation. Now let's move on to collocation number 3. Now, for this one, I actually included 2 collocations in one. All right. So this is collocation number 3 and 3.5. So I wanted to include both of these in one because they're both informal and they're both pretty simple, right? They're both pretty easy to understand and they are informal. They're used in informal conversation. What do you think this word that starts with CR is? Busy. What do you think? And what do you think this word before serious is? Serious. Okay, good. I'm seeing guesses. All right. I want to see more guesses though, but maybe if you guys have already seen a guess from someone else, then you'll guess the same thing. I probably would. Yep. Exactly. You guys got it. Yep. And that tells me that a lot of you already know these, which is really cool. But for those who don't know it, I hope that learning these is interesting. We have crazy busy and dead serious, okay? So here, the word crazy and the word dead are being used as adverbs. We can actually put crazy and dead before an adjective and use them as adverbs. If someone's crazy busy, that just means that they're so busy. They're extremely busy, all right? So you could say, for example, oh, I'm so sorry it has taken me so long to get back to you. I've just been crazy busy lately, okay? Yeah, we actually say this in spoken English. Crazy busy. Oh my gosh, I've been crazy busy, so it has taken me a long time to get back to you. So that's what we can say in spoken English. We can also say that we are dead serious, okay? We're not just serious. No. We are dead serious, okay? We are completely serious. So for example, you could say, she said all of that to me with a straight face. So I knew she was dead serious, okay? And in this sentence right here is another collocation, a straight face. Are you guys familiar with this collocation, straight face? Do you guys know this one? Let me know in the chat. And also feel free to put your own examples with these collocations in the chat. You can feel free to give me an example with crazy busy and dead serious, just to practice. No? Do you guys know what straight face means? Okay, some people do, some people don't. Okay, a straight face is this. That's it. That's it. It's an emotionless face, okay? When we have a straight face, we're not showing any emotion, okay? That's a straight face. That's it. All right? So we often use this collocation straight face when someone is saying something that's funny and we're trying to keep a straight face. We don't want to laugh because maybe it's a situation where it's not appropriate to laugh. Like, it's a formal situation at work, you don't want to laugh. So you're trying to keep a straight face, okay? We're not trying to laugh. That's a common context in which straight face is used. Yes! Oh my gosh. So thank you so much for this example with all three of those collocations. I love this. She said with a straight face that she was crazy busy. So I understood that she was dead serious. Perfect. I love that. I love that. That is so good. Thank you. Okay. So crazy busy, dead serious. Now let's move on to collocation number 4. All right, here we go. Now we're going to move on to verb-noun collocations. The last 3 were adverb-adjective ones. Now let's look at verb-noun collocations. Here is the next one. So we have to the of doing something. And we also have to why, how, what. What do you guys think this one is? It might be obvious, it might not be. This picture right here is also a clue. This puzzled face. All right, what do you think it is? Okay, 1 guess, 2 guesses. No, not straight the point, or not quite straight the point. Let's see. Hello from Brazil. Hi. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. Okay. Yep, I am seeing some correct guesses. Good. All right, any more guesses? What do you think? Let's see. Okay, so I did see the correct collocation. You guys did guess it. So this next collocation number 4, is to see the point of doing something. To see the point of doing something, or to see why, what, how, etc. So you might not know this, but in spoken English, we often use the verb see to say understand, okay? I see your point. That means I understand what you're saying, okay? I see what you're saying. So see means understand in this situation. And when we say that we see the point of doing something, that means that we understand the purpose of doing something, okay? Because the point of something is the purpose of doing it. It's the why, the reason you're doing it, okay? So you could say, for example, I don't see the point of doing that yourself when you could get someone else to do it for you, okay? I don't see the point. I don't understand the purpose. Why are you doing this? Okay? So see means understand. All right? We can also use see with question words like why, what, how. Specifically, we use see a lot with why. Okay? And we could say, for example, I don't see why we can't just work from home. I don't see why we can't just work from home. A lot of people said this during the pandemic, I think. I don't see why we can't just work from home, all right? So you could also use see with what, for example, and you could say something like, I see what you mean. Oh yeah, I see what you mean, okay? That means I understand what you mean. You could also say, I see how that was a problem for you. Oh yeah, I see how that was a problem for you. That means I understand how that was a problem for you. So If you guys want to take your English to the very next level and use expressions that native speakers use, then try using see as a way to say to understand, okay? You guys might have already known this, but hopefully there are some people here who did not know that, all right? So that is collocation number 4, to see the point of something, to see why, to see how, to see what. Now, let's move on to collocation number 5. We're almost at I guess we are at the halfway point, or we're very close to it. All right, collocation number 5. Now, here is a collocation that I think most of you do not know. I think this one will be new for most of you, okay? So, it is to get, take, or give or the for something, okay? I don't think you guys will get this one. I don't think you will. This is not a very well-known collocation among English learners, but we do use it. So what do you think this word starting with F means? What do you think? Does anyone know? Try and make a guess. Not quite feedback. I want to see some more guesses. I think I've stumped you guys on this one. And that's a verb that means, like, if we stump someone, that means that we give them a question that they can't answer because the question is too hard to answer. I think I might have stumped you guys on this one. Nope, not focus, not failure, not feedback, not fail. Okay, no one has guessed it yet. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds to guess. Nope, not finger, not false, not face. Okay, let's see. Anyone else? Okay, I think I've stumped you guys, all right? And I want to put that verb in the chat, to stump someone. If you stump someone, you give them a question that they can't answer correctly, right? To stump someone. Now, I'm so happy that I stumped you guys because you guys are already so great. You guys already, you guessed all the other ones. But this one is, and also this picture, I want to draw attention to this picture. This picture has some, thumbs down. This person is, they're receiving some negative, not negative feedback, but negative criticism. So, to get, take, or give flack for something is the collocation, okay? The word is flack. It can be spelled F-L-A-K or F-L-A-C-K, okay? Flack. Once again, this is a pretty advanced collocation. Most English learners don't know it. You can say to get flack for something, to take flack for something, or to give someone flack for something. And if you say this, that means that you are getting strong criticism for something, okay? I know some of you have never heard this word before, and that's why I wanted to teach it in this live stream. We do use this expression in spoken English. If you get flack for something, you get criticism for it, okay? So, for example, you could say, it's not fair that we both screwed up and I'm the one who gets all the flack for it. That's not fair, all right? So you can say to get flack for something. You can also say, I know that I shouldn't have done it, so I'm ready to take the flack for it when the time comes, okay? So this means that I'm ready to take the criticism when I have to take it, okay? So this is a useful collocation if you want to talk about someone's negative reaction to something you're doing or something you're saying. You could get flack for something. You could also give someone flack for something, which means that you give them criticism, okay? So this is a pretty useful collocation, all right? And it does sound pretty natural to me as a native speaker, and I've heard it on plenty of occasions. So I wanted to share it with you guys today, all right? Now, fun fact, the word flak actually comes from a very long German word that means something like aircraft defense gun or anti-aircraft gunfire. So this word has really interesting origins. And I really don't know how this meaning of it came about, but this meaning of it came about in the 1960s. And I want to see if you guys can write your own examples with this. So try and write your own examples in the chat. All right? So yes, that's a good example. So you could say a president has gotten a lot of flack for his decisions that he's made in office. Okay? That's a great example. All right, so good. That is this collocation. That's number 5, guys. Now, I want to stop here for a little while. We're going to stop because we're at the halfway point. I want you guys to share which collocation out of the 5 that we've looked at so far is new for you, or which one is your favorite. All right. I'm pretty sure that this one right here, to get flack for something, this one's probably new for most of you, I assume. All right? So tell me which one is your favorite so far. Tell me which one you see yourself using in a conversation with someone. Let me know. All right? Which one do you see yourself using? Which one do you like the most? Tell me in the chat. Yep, last one's new for you. But which one do you see yourself using in a conversation? What do you think? Okay, number 3. Number 3, that's crazy busy, dead serious. To see the point, yep. That's a very common one. I don't see the point of doing that. Okay? Number 4, okay. Yep. Absolutely insane. Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one to use in spoken English to sound, very natural. See the points? I like number 1. Okay, number 1, blatantly obvious. Good. Oh, you use crazy busy a lot. Okay, good, perfect. Yes, an old word from World War II, I believe. That's what flack is. It's an old word from World War II. Okay, good. Thank you guys for your messages. So now we are going to move on to the second half of these 10 collocations. We're going to move on to collocation number 6. Let me find it for you all. Okay. Here it is. So we have to your So this one is a little more difficult because this one has 2 blanks, okay? So I'm hoping it'll be a little bit more challenging for you guys, all right? So give me your guesses in the chat. What do you think this one could be, all right? To your p. And as you can see, the last 2 letters in this last word are VE. All right, good. I'm seeing 1 guess so far. Okay, not quite Brighton, almost. All right. I'm seeing some correct answers already, and that is so great. All right, not quite Brighton. Broken primitive, not quite broken primitive. As you can see here, I put an image of a brain, and this brain is, it's in the middle, and there are some arrows going out of it, okay? So that's your hint. There is a brain. The brain is kind of going out like this. That's your clue. All right? Now, several of you have already guessed it. Very, very good. So this collocation is to broaden your perspective, okay? We can say to broaden your perspective. Wow, that experience really broadened my perspective. And if something broadens your perspective, that means that it expands your understanding of a certain topic because it exposes you to new ideas, new points of view, new information that you were not aware of before. So this is a great collocation to use when you're talking about life experiences and learning new things, okay? I really like this one. So you can say, for example, taking a gap year to volunteer abroad really helped me to broaden my perspective, or it really broadened my perspective on a lot of global issues, okay? So taking a gap year to volunteer was a really amazing experience for me. It exposed me to new ideas, new points of view, so we can say that it broadened my perspective, okay? Now, there's also another word that broaden is used with, okay? You might not be able to see it because of the chat here, but we also say to broaden your horizons, all right? I'll put this in the chat just in case you guys can't see it. To broaden your horizons, all right? If something broadens your horizons, that means that it expands kind of the range of your life experiences, okay? It expands your life experiences, the activities you do, the interests you have, the knowledge you have. So this one is also quite useful to know. We can say that something broadened our horizons, all right? Now, my mother, growing up, she used to tell me to do things to broaden my horizons a lot, okay? She wanted me to go out there and try new things and, you know, experience new things because she wanted me to broaden my horizons. And she said this to me so much. And also my grandfather said this to me because he wanted me to try a lot of new things. They said that to me a lot, so much to the point where I kind of got sick of hearing it after a while. I'm not gonna lie. I did get a little sick of hearing, do it to broaden your horizons. This will broaden your horizons. My mom said that to me a lot, so I kind of got sick of it after a while. But I do think it is a really good expression to know, all right? Now, let's also talk about the word broad, okay? I want to talk about broad before we move on here. So if something is broad, that means that there is a large distance from side to side, okay? So it's, you know, there's a lot of space from this end to this end, a lot of space. But if something is broad, that also means that it's covering a wide range of ideas or subjects. Okay, that's also another meaning of broad. So if we say that we are broadening something or that an experience is broadening something, that means that it's making it broad, right? So we have broad and to broaden something. There are a lot of verbs like this that end in en that mean to make someone, to make something something. For example, straight hair. You can say to straighten your hair, straighten your hair. So there are lots of examples of these verbs that end in en that mean to make something, right? To make your hair straight, to straighten it, to make something broad, to broaden it, all right? So that is broad. So that is collocation number 6, guys. We are moving through these pretty quickly. But I just saw that it's 9:48. I did not know that it was 9:48. So let's get through the rest of these so we can invite one of you onto this live stream and so we can have a quick conversation. All right, now the next one is to someone in something. All right, what do you think this one means? And right here we have a picture of a young girl. She's like, oh. She has like stars in her eyes. She's, oh. This one might be a bit obvious. To someone in something. This is a verb and adjective collocation. I want to see your guesses in the chat. What do you think this means? Gotta clean my glasses. Right now, I can't see anything without my glasses on. I am as blind as a bat. All right, let's see. Yes, a lot of you have guessed it. Exactly. This one's pretty easy, but I wanted to include it because it might not be super obvious. So, this collocation is to get someone interested in something. All right? You might not know this, but get and interested go together. They can be used together in a collocation. Okay? If we say that something gets us interested in something, that simply means that it makes us interested in it. It causes us to feel interested or to be interested in something. Okay? So for example, you could say, seeing so many Broadway shows all throughout my childhood is what got me interested in theater. Okay? So instead of saying something like, oh yeah, like seeing all those Broadway shows, it really made me interested in theater, we can say, seeing all those Broadway shows got me interested in theater. We do say that. We can say that. And it sounds very natural. So I would definitely suggest that you try using this collocation when you're speaking to people. So this one's obviously very useful because we can use it when talking about our interests, or we can use it when asking about someone else's interests, okay? We can say, for example, oh, what got you interested in that? You know, if someone says, oh yeah, I love bubblegum pop, which is a genre of music, bubblegum pop, yep. Someone could say, oh, I love bubblegum pop. And I could say, oh, wow, what got you interested in that? What got you interested in that? That's a very natural way to ask, what made you interested in that? How did you get interested in that? Now, down here, you might not be able to see it because of the chat, but I also have to get someone into something, which is more informal. We can also say that something got us into something. This is a little more informal, but it means pretty much the same thing as get someone interested in something. So you could say, for example, oh yeah, my friends got me into that band, right? There's this band called, I don't know, Alter Bridge. Alter Bridge is a band. My friends got me into Alter Bridge. They made me interested in Alter Bridge. Okay? So this is collocation number 7, to get someone interested in something. All right? When can we use got or get? Well, get is the present simple. Got is the past tense, right? I got it is the past. Okay? And we could ask someone, what got you interested in that? No, bubblegum pop is a real thing. And I said it with a straight face. Bubblegum pop is 100% a real thing. Look it up. Alter Bridge is a band. I think I said their name right. Feel free to look them up. Alter Bridge is not a bubblegum pop band. They're a metal band, but they're pretty cool. I like them. All right, next collocation, number 8. Now we are moving into the adjective and noun collocations. The ones that we just looked at were verb and noun collocations, but this one is a adjective and noun collocation. Oh, you know Alter Bridge. Oh, perfect. Good. Yes, Alter Bridge. Look them up. They are pretty cool. All right, so you got me interested in you. I wouldn't say that. I could say, for example, like if someone, you know, if someone is so pretty or attractive and you started to have a crush on them, then that you could say, like, just, I started to feel attracted to you. I started to fall for you, for example. I started to feel things for you. So yeah, we wouldn't use get interested in that case. All right, I'm already seeing some guesses for this one. What do you think it is? There are some hints here. We have this picture with the drop of sweat, and we also have the word yikes. Yikes. Ooh, yikes. Now, do you guys know this word yikes? Before I give you the collocation, let's talk about yikes. Yikes. Do you guys know this word? And if you do, what does it mean? Or when do we use it? Yikes. Ugh. Notice that I'm making this face when I say yikes. Ugh. All right? Nope, it's not sadly, it's not shady. I'm seeing some correct answers. Good. It's not silly. So yikes is something we say if we are in an uncomfortable situation. Okay? So this collocation has to do with uncomfortable situations. Now, with that said, let's look at the collocation. Let's reveal it. A sticky situation. Okay? Yes, we can use the word sticky with the noun situation. This is a collocation that we use. And if something is a sticky situation, that means that it is a difficult or embarrassing situation. Okay? Ooh, it's a sticky situation. For example, you could say, he got himself into a pretty sticky situation when he asked her out in front of her boyfriend. Ooh, that's really, really uncomfortable. Okay? I guess this guy just did not know that this guy was her boyfriend, and he shot his shot. That's a phrase in English, to shoot your shot. That means to ask someone out, or, to ask someone a question when you, it usually means to ask someone out on a date, to shoot your shot with someone, okay? So, yeah, sticky situation, a difficult or embarrassing situation. And yikes, we use yikes in English usually when we want to express that we're shocked or we're disgusted or uncomfortable, right? And we often use it with this face. Yikes. Ooh, yikes. This face right here is called a grimace. A grimace. Ooh, ooh, yikes, yikes. Okay? Yeah, exactly. It's used to show that you are shocked or disgusted or uncomfortable. Yikes. Ooh. And Rihanna uses that collocation in her song Man Down. Ooh, okay, perfect. So if you guys want to hear that collocation, then listen to Man Down by Rihanna. Perfect. Now, you can also say to get yourself into a sticky situation. Ooh, I got myself into a really sticky situation. And you can say to get yourself out of a sticky situation as well, all right? So those are two common phrases with sticky situation, okay? Now, as another example, forgetting your best friend's birthday, forgetting your spouse's birthday, lying to someone and having to keep up that lie, making someone mad at you. These are all sticky situations. Okay, now let's move on to collocation number 9. We're almost at the very end, guys. Now we have a subject. What do you think this word that is mostly blank called? What do you think this one word is? Right, exactly. It's sticky because you feel like you won't get out of it easily. That's right, exactly. I'm seeing some of you saying tricky. Not quite. Let me look at more guesses. Let's see. Guess what you think this word is that starts with T. What do you think? Nope, it's not tricky. It's not a tricky subject. Okay? But I do see how you could think it would be tricky. Right? I just used see to say understand, right? I said I could see how you would think that it's tricky, right? That means I understand how you would think it's tricky. But nope, it's not tricky. It is, several of you have guessed it, it is a touchy subject. A touchy subject. A touchy subject is a subject that is very sensitive, right? And if you don't handle it the right way, if you don't talk about it the right way, it could really offend people because it's so sensitive, all right? People have very strong feelings about this subject, so you could very easily make people offended if you say the wrong thing, okay? That's a touchy subject. For example, you could say, when I asked him about his last relationship, I could see that it was a touchy subject for him. So I decided to bring up another topic, okay? So exactly, it means delicate. And we can talk about a touchy subject for someone, okay? So if we're talking about a subject that's touchy for one person, we could say, oh, that's a touchy subject for her. You should probably not bring that up when talking to her. Now, can you guys give me some examples of touchy subjects in your country? What are some touchy subjects in your country? Like a subject that you should probably avoid talking about because you don't want to ruffle any feathers, which is an idiom in English, to ruffle someone's feathers. That means to annoy someone or to bother someone. You don't want to ruffle someone's feathers. You don't want to bother them. Let's see. Okay, salary. Yep, that's one. Politics. Yeah, usually you don't want to bring up politics in a casual, everyday conversation. Religion. Yeah, politics is a huge one. It's probably better to stay away from politics in really any conversation. You know, unless you want to get into an argument with someone. Let's see. Religion. Yeah, religion is definitely a touchy subject, or it could be if you don't go about it, if you don't go about talking about it the right way. It could definitely offend someone if you say the wrong thing. In France, you don't talk about salary. That's interesting. Yeah, we try to avoid that here in America as well, or in the US, just because, you know, it's just an uncomfortable topic. It's not really your business how much money I'm making, so it's better to stay away from that. Yep, perfect. Yep, you guys understand this collocation perfectly. And once again, I have the word yikes here because this is another situation where we could use the word yikes, right? So if someone starts talking about politics at a dinner and several people get offended, that's a yikes situation. That's a sticky situation. Yes. So it's better to avoid topics like politics, religion, all that stuff. All right, now we are going to move on to the very last collocation. And this live has been going on for over an hour. So thank you guys so much for staying with me. If you guys have stayed here, up to this point and you joined at the beginning, thank you so much for being here. What do you think this collocation is? To remember something. I may have given you too many letters here, so it might be a bit obvious. But what do you think it is? Good, I'm seeing some guesses. Yes, I'm seeing some correct guesses. Very good. And maybe this picture right here gives it away. This person's like, Vaguely. You are correct. This last collocation is to vaguely remember something, okay? So we commonly use the verb remember with the adverb vaguely, all right? If we vaguely remember something, that means that we have an unclear or an incomplete memory of something. We don't quite remember something, very well. We don't remember it well in general. So you could say, for example, I vaguely remember meeting her at a party last year, but I couldn't tell you what we talked about, okay? So this means that I do remember meeting her, at a bar last year, but I don't have a clear memory of it. I don't really remember, everything that happened. I do remember meeting her though, okay? Now, this adverb vaguely, it comes from the adjective vague, okay? Vague. So if something is vague, that means that it is it's very unclear, okay? It's not clear, or it's not giving a lot of information. So you could say, I have a vague idea of what I want to do, okay? I was very vague about my plans. That means that I wasn't giving a lot of information. I wasn't clear about my plans. Vague is a great word to use in spoken English. It's a C1 level word, so it's advanced. And you could say, I vaguely remember it, right? That means I remember it in an unclear way. Vaguely is like in an unclear way, okay? Yeah, it's kind of like to barely remember something. Yeah, but vaguely means unclear, right? I remember something, but it's unclear. I don't really have most of the memories of that, all right? And yes, you could say, I distinctly remember what happened. Distinctly is a word we could use with remember. It sounds a bit, maybe not formal, but it's more advanced. It's not usually a word that a lot of native speakers use in everyday conversation, but you could say, I distinctly remember that. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. All right. Vague and ambiguous. That is a difficult question to answer. I'm going to try and look it up just because off the top of my head, I don't want to give you an incorrect answer when it comes to the difference between vague and ambiguous. So I will do some research and I'll try and get back to you on that. All right. I'll even write down your username so I can answer your question later on. All right. So thank you for that question. I will try to get back to you on that. Because vague and ambiguous do have very similar meanings, all right? All right, so that was the last collocation, guys, to vaguely remember something. So we have looked at 10 collocations that you can use in everyday conversation, and I wasn't expecting it to take an hour to get through all of them, but that's okay. I really, really appreciate it if you guys have stayed from the beginning to, up to now. Thank you guys so much for your participation. And yeah. Oh, hi, Janet. Thank you so much for joining. Janet from the English Air is here. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to invite one of you onto this live stream, okay? And we are going to have a short conversation where we're going to try to use some of these collocations, okay? So if you would like to join this live just for a quick conversation, then feel free to request to join, all right? At this time, you can request to join, and all of these collocations will be in the caption of this video when I post it to Instagram, okay? So you'll have all of them in the caption on Instagram. So that's where you'll be able to find them. All right. So at this time, guys, if you want to join, request to join, and I will look through all of my requests and then I'll choose someone to join and then we'll have a short conversation. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of moments while we're waiting for people to request. I would like to know which one was your favorite. Which one was your favorite collocation? All right, tell me in the chat. Just because I'm curious, out of these 10 that we've looked at. Just to give you a recap, the first one, blatantly obvious, absolutely insane, crazy busy, dead serious, to see the point of doing something, to get flack for doing something, to get someone interested in something, to broaden your perspective or to broaden your horizons. The next one is a touchy subject, a sticky situation, and vaguely remember. Okay? Which one was your favorite? Okay? Crazy busy, sticky situation. Okay, dead serious. Crazy busy, sticky situation. Okay, good. Yeah, it was so hard to choose all of these. It really was, because there are so many different collocations that I could have chosen. to include. So I hope that you guys found these 10 collocations useful. Get flack for doing something. Yes. Good. All right. So once again, one more reminder, you can request to be part of the live right now, and I will invite one of you on for a short conversation. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Crazy busy, sticky situation, touchy subject. Okay, so I'm seeing the same ones. You guys really enjoy sticky situation, touchy subject, crazy busy, dead serious. Okay, good. All right, so if you guys are ready, for all of those who have requested to be on the live, I am going to choose one of you, and I hope that you will be able to join. If not, that's okay. I'll choose someone else, but we're just gonna have a quick conversation, all right? So feel free to request to be on it right now. Okay. Oh gosh. All right, I have a couple of requests. Okay. Honestly, I feel like I don't want to give someone special treatment, but I've been talking to this person for quite a while on Instagram. So Amir, I have to invite you. All right, I just pressed accept. Let me see if I have to do that again. Hi, Amir.
Hi, Jane. How are you?
Are you good? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. I'm so happy to finally meet you. We have been chatting on private messages for so long. You've left so many fantastic example sentences in the comments of my videos. So I had to invite you onto the live stream. I had to. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a short conversation, and we're going to try and use some of these collocations. Okay? So I am going to ask a couple of questions, if that's all right. And I hope that you don't mind just answering some questions about your life, your interests, just kind of stuff like that. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's perfect for me.
Okay. Now, we're going to do a little role play for this conversation, okay? So what's going to happen is you are a celebrity, okay? You are this world famous celebrity, and I am a reporter, and I am so excited to have this chance to interview you for this big TV program, this big TV show. And so I'm going to ask you questions about your life story, okay? So you are the celebrity, I'm the reporter, all right? Okay.
I choose a musician.
What was that, sorry?
I choose to be a musician, a pop star.
Okay, that works too. You are a world famous singer. You're a world famous musician, and I am asking you questions about your life. Okay? All right. We're gonna try and use some of these collocations. So my first question for you, Almir, is what country are you from, and where are you from in that country?
Well, I'm from Cuba and I live in Las Tunas. Well, I was actually born on Santiago de Chile, but I moved to Las Tunas in 1997.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, very nice. Very nice. So you are from Cuba. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I should also, get into reporter mode, and I should say, hello, everyone. Welcome to this special. Today I have the extremely amazing, talented artist, Almir, on this conversation, and I'm so excited to meet you. This is crazy. I can't believe that I'm finally interviewing you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm starstruck right now. I can't believe that I'm talking to you. So.
And thank you, Tim. I love your show. It's an honor to be here with you finally for the first time.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Now, when did you start learning English, Amir? When did you start learning English? Do you remember?
Yeah, I vaguely remember it must have been around the age of 10 in elementary school, like everyone.
Okay.
But then I really took an interest in it. in middle school
Mm.
with music. And it
And
was
that
primarily because of music.
got it, got it. Okay, and that's around when everybody starts learning English in Cuba, right?
Yeah.
Like very early on, right? Hmm.
Yeah, it was basically in the colors and so introducing yourself and stuff like that.
Okay, got it, got it. Now, do you remember anything about that time of your life when you were learning English? Like, when you were just starting to learn? Do you have any vague memories of that time when you were just starting to learn English? Like maybe the teacher you had, or, something like that. Any vague memories of that time when you were learning English?
Yeah, well, and it's sad that the teachers would come and go, and we didn't have like a permanent teacher. But in middle school, we had this teacher, her name is Sandra. I remember her vividly. She was so cool. She was great. With Erica, Marie, and Riley.
Mhm. Mm,
I remember the names, and they were good with me.
wow. Okay, so you had a lot of different teachers, right? So it was kind of hard to kind of get close to one of them, right? Because you had a lot of different English teachers. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And I was told about Maureen. And we had her from 8th grade to 9th grade. Um, she stuck with me.
Mm.
I still remember, and I found her recently on Facebook and tried to reach out to her.
Oh, okay. Wait, wait. So you found a teacher that you had on Facebook? Is that
Yeah.
that's so
No, no. I met her in high school, and I found her online again. And because even though we live in the same city, and we didn't get to see each other often.
hmm. Oh my gosh, I love that. So like, were you like able to actually reconnect with them like in person? Like, did you
Yeah.
ever like go out to, I don't know, lunch or spend some time with them?
And not yet, but I would love that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you could do that in the future. Like, that's so cool that it's so
mm,
cool in general to reconnect with people that
totally.
people teach you, and I love that. That's so cool. Now, another question for you. What are some of your hobbies? What are some of your hobbies in
Well,
general?
and I would say my main hobby is drawing.
Mm.
It will be drawing and listening to music and watching movies, but drawing is one of my main artistic expressions.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. And like when you draw, what would you say your art style is? Do you have like a particular art style when you're drawing?
Well, and when I was a kid, well, my brother and I were really into anime and manga style, and Sailor Moon, that kind of stuff, Inuyasha, Dragon Ball Z, and stuff like that. But then we evolved to have more of a particular style, more us. It feels more like me, not trying to copy somebody else's style.
Okay. Got it. Got it. So first you started drawing anime. Your favorite art style was anime, but then you developed your own style, we could say,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
perfect.
And what got
Exactly like that.
you interested in anime? What got you interested in anime, would you say?
I would say it was more the style of the animation and the artists. It wasn't as much on the content on the stories. It was more of the about the style.
Mm,
It was so unique.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think so many people are fascinated by anime and just Japanese culture in general. Where do
Yeah.
you remember seeing Japanese culture? And like, what was your first kind of exposure to anime? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and my father had recorded some movies of Dragon Ball Z in VHS, and so yeah, that would be the first exposure. And then Sailor Moon with one of the movies, the one with the alien planet.
Hmm.
I love that movie. But I went to see the series and I kind of hated it,
Hmm.
but I still love the movie. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
perfect.
Dragon Ball Z is what started it all, right?
Yeah,
You can say thank you to Dragon
and
Ball Z.
Pokemon. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Good, good. Well, so we can say Dragon Ball Z is what got you interested in
yeah.
anime in general. So, very cool. All right. Now, are there any interests you have, or is there anything about you that your family has given you flack for, or that you've gotten flack for from your family? Like your family says, "Oh, like you do this too much," or "You're like this too much," and maybe your family has just kind of given you just some negative criticism regarding this one thing. Can you think of anything like that that your family has given you flack for?
Well, we live in a very chaotic environment, so it would be hard to choose one.
Mm.
And maybe being too strong-headed sometimes.
Mm. You're okay. So what does that mean when you say you're strong-headed?
Well, and when I have like my convictions and I don't let people change the way I think or what I want to do. Something like
Mm. Got it, got it. So you are like you're very adamant. Like you don't let people
yeah,
change your decisions. You don't let people change the way you think in general. Okay. Interesting. Got it, got it. Yeah, and that's something you could definitely get flack for. You could get flack for a certain personality trait that you have. So that's a great example of that. Okay. Now, another question for you. Have you ever traveled abroad?
well, and not yet. I barely get out of my city.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what is one place that you really want to go to? Like, if someone told you tomorrow that tomorrow is when you'll be able to finally, travel the world, what place would you go to first?
Well, and my friend Matthew and TJ asked me that last month, and I always say Australia.
Australia. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. Interesting. So it would just be
that's
to
been
visit
my
the
top
culture.
2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Good, good. So, do you have friends from all over the world? Like, I know, like, we've been chatting, and you said that you had friends, in the U.S. So, do you have friends
Yeah.
like that are from all over the world?
Yeah, from different parts of Latin America and from Australia, and yeah, and the US, Canada, and
Hmm.
some from Africa. And so, yeah, and
Wow.
social media is cool like that, and you can have people from all over the world in your phone.
Exactly, exactly. Like, you have the world in the palm of your hand when you
Yeah,
are,
as your
when you go
fingertips.
on social media. It's amazing. So, like, you could start by going to all of those countries where you have friends. You could visit all those
Yeah,
nations to start.
Maldives. I'm, I'm actually trying to have my passport made.
Hmm.
I booked an appointment, so it will be for next month, maybe.
So I'm sorry, what's happening next month? Could you repeat that?
Mm. I'm trying to have my passport made, so I booked an appointment. We have to book an appointment for them to get on the list first.
Oh, good, good. So you're on your way to getting all
Yeah,
the things you need to start traveling.
and there's a lot of red tape.
Hmm. Well, that's so awesome. Like I hope that you can come visit, in the United States sometime soon. You have your friends
And
to
we
visit
do
here.
close.
I know that
Yeah.
your
And we
friends
should
visited
close. Yeah,
you, right? Like your friends visited you in Cuba, right?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And they came in last month. Well, it was at the end of January, matching today.
Hmm. Okay. Got it, got it. Well, then you could maybe visit them in the future, and that would be really cool. Yeah.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Guanachi and that's the name of the city in Mexico.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Like there are so many different places to
And we
visit.
could use some time.
Yeah.
It would be
I
good
mean,
to see
like
your life.
it'd be cool if like I could see you sometime. Like
To
that's
lead a
awesome.
great team.
Yeah. Now, so you haven't traveled yet, but
Mm.
can you think of one? one sticky situation that you might get yourself into if you were to travel. What's a sticky situation that you think you could get yourself into if you were traveling? For me, if I were going to a country where I don't speak the language, a sticky situation would be not being able to communicate with people at the airport, like the security, and them kind of confiscating something of mine, and that would be a rough situation. So, if you were to start traveling, what's a sticky situation that you think you might get into?
Well, I think and one of the most common sticky situation it would be to fall into a tourist trap. Like
Hmm.
and when they try to sell you overpriced stuff or souvenirs and stuff like that. So I would avoid those places. And when you don't see the price tag and stuff like that, I hate that.
Exactly. That's
Show
the
me a
thing.
price tag and I can see the numbers. Don't just tell them to me.
Yes, exactly. So when you go to a country, any country in the world, you have to make sure you're aware of the common tourist traps that's
Yeah,
that you could fall into there. A tourist trap is basically, so it's when like someone is selling you something that's too expensive. It's not worth the price, and they're selling it
yeah,
because they know tourists will pay for it, right? Because they don't know better. So
yeah.
yeah, we should definitely avoid
It's better if you
traps.
have a local friend and that can help you.
Mm. Did I fall into any in Spain? Is
No,
that,
and I was saying that it's better if you have a local friend and that can help you avoid those places and people from that.
hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like there are things you can do to prepare. There are things you can do to
Yeah,
prepare to not fall into them. The internet can give you all the information you need, so
yeah.
we can avoid those. Good, good. Now,
So,
another question I wanted to ask you is, what are some touchy subjects in Cuba? What are some touchy subjects that people try to avoid talking about in general?
well, and like I said, it will be the politics, religion. We have so many different religions here, like Catholic and Orthodox religion, and some people think like the majority and they're not the most widespread, stuff like that. And also with the family code and the new family code being approved, and some people were against it. But yeah, you have to come. You have to catch up with the with other countries.
Hmm. Right, right. Exactly. So politics, religion are the biggest ones. And
Yeah.
then like when your friends came to Cuba, did they bring up any touchy subjects when you talked to them or no?
No, and they're and they were peace really, and they're lovely people, and they're
Okay.
very open-minded, and there's nothing about them. So well, and I've known them for years, and I know how they are and what they like, and we didn't have any issue.
Okay, good, good. Because sometimes what's a touchy subject in one country might not be a touchy subject in another, or the touchy
Yeah,
subject might differ between countries. So, what might be a normal topic of conversation in one country, it could be something pretty delicate and pretty touchy
yeah.
in another. So, that's something we have to keep in mind when traveling, I think.
Like and my friend Matthew, he asked me if he could wear his rings and his chains and to go online to different places, and I told him that, and we didn't have any problem with that. He
Okay,
was
good,
kind
good.
of weird about it,
Yeah, yeah.
but and because he's going to more traditional countries like Asian countries, and
Mhm.
there can be more reserved about stuff like that.
Right, right, exactly. Like some countries, they might be more reserved about certain things. Like maybe it's fine to talk about your salary in certain countries. Maybe that's fine,
I
but
don't like to talk about my family. Yeah, and people
it,
like to know, see.
yeah, better not to be nosy. I agree. Better not to be
Hmm.
nosy. Now, um, one more question for you. Okay, so What is one experience that you've had in your life that has really broadened your horizons or broadened your perspective? What do you think? Because
Well,
I know you have yet to travel. That's a big experience that broadens your horizons. But is there anything in particular that has broadened your perspective or horizons in your life in Cuba so far?
uh, and I would say that I'm meeting people from different generations,
Hmm.
and that's something that brings one's horizon and perspective. And many people from different sides of the same country, and the ones that live in the city or rural side of the country,
Hmm.
or
Is
talking
that
to
right?
people from different. Yeah, about Selena, she just had a baby. She has three babies.
Wait, what's her name again?
Selena,
Selena.
Selena, like Selena Gomez.
Oh, she's adorable. Okay,
Yeah,
so as you were saying, you were talking about talking to people from different
from
generations,
different
right?
generations, yeah, from different parts of the same country. Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, like, I assume that of course, you have grandparents, and I'm sure you've talked to them. But have you talked to a lot of other people that are like older from older generations as well, or is it mostly just your grandparents?
yeah. Well, and like a source of knowledge and wisdom, it could be in my teachers at college and all these different stages of my education. Yeah, or
Yeah.
talking to people from different countries or watching documentaries.
hmm
Yeah,
hmm
it's
Yeah.
movies. It is a way to acquire a new knowledge.
So another thing that could broaden our horizons or our perspective,
Reading books.
it's movies,
Reading
right?
books.
Movies can
Yeah.
definitely expand our understanding of the world. So, is there any particular movie that has really broadened your perspective on certain issues?
Um, and that would be hard to choose one because I've watched so many movies. I've
Yeah,
watched hundreds and hundreds of movies, and nothing springs to mind right now. Sorry,
that's okay, no
anything seems to
problem.
me.
Yeah, I mean, like, so you're a movie lover, right? You've watched so many different
Yeah,
movies.
I love movies and series and music.
Okay, got it. Well, maybe think about it later and then tell me in a message if you want. Send me a message just because I'm curious. Yeah. All right. Well, Almir, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. It has been so great to meet you. And you are just this huge world-class musician. I can't believe that you were able to make time for me today. So thank you so much for your time. It has been so wonderful getting to know you a little better and also practicing some of these collocations. So thank you so much. And once again, thank you so much for all of the wonderful examples that you leave under my videos. Like, let me tell you, everyone, for everyone who's watching, Almir is just a pro when it comes to English vocab, use of really advanced structures and vocabulary. What you write is so impressive. So I just wanted to tell you that again.
Well, and Tim, thank you for having me on your show. Sorry that I broke the record. I was, I was supposed to bring in like a popular musician, and it was just me.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Now, I just to let you know, I think I can't, click the out button, so you might have to swipe out of the conversation just to leave. But
Okay.
thank you so much,
Okay.
Almir. I appreciate it so much. All right,
Thank you, and it was my pleasure talking to you.
all right. The pleasure was all mine. Thank you so much, Almir. All right, bye. Okay, I'm so happy that I got to chat with Almir because Almir has been leaving comments on my videos and he's been leaving the most impressive, amazing example sentences in my comment sections. So I had to chat with him and I'm so happy that I got the chance to do that. All right, well, we have been live for over an hour and a half now. We've looked at 10 collocations. we have practiced using them in a conversation, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this live stream. I really tried to choose collocations that I thought you guys would find useful, and I'm just so happy that I was able to connect with you guys today. So thank you all so much for your time. I know that there are so many different things that you could be doing today on your day off, if it's your day off, but you guys chose to spend your time with me. So I just wanted to say thank you. This live stream will be available on my account after I end it. So you can watch it whenever you want. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I hope that I can do this again sometime soon. All right. Thank you guys so much. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.